They said I came from nothing, and honestly, they were right. I wasn't born with some magic plan. I didn't show up on Earth with a guidebook or a backup drive. There were no cheat codes, no silver plate, no whisper in my ear telling me this is how you win. Nah, just chaos, just grit, just this heavy silence that sat on my chest like a damn anchor. People talk about humble beginnings like it's cute, like it's poetic. But there was nothing romantic about it. It was cold. It was raw. It was me waking up every day with weight on my chest and fire in my ribs that I didn't know what to do with. Pain wasn't a phase for me. It was the whole damn environment. The air, the rhythm, the expectation to shut up, play small, and survive. I didn't grow up learning how to shine. I grew up learning how to stay quiet so I didn't burn anyone else with my heat. I was told not to stand out, not to speak too loud, not to want too much. Every corner I turned, there was some unspoken rule ready to crush my spine. But something inside me, man, it refused, like genuinely refused to be quiet. That part of me, it wasn't polite, it wasn't soft, it was wild. It snapped, it broke loose, it howled. And when it did, everything changed. I stopped apologizing for existing. I stopped asking for permission to breathe. I got up on shaky legs with no audience, no one clapping, no one betting on me. Just me, scarred, pissed off, starving for more, starving for proof that I could become something no one saw coming. You don't really know what it means to be nothing until you've been swallowed by it whole, until you've sat in a dark room with your own doubts squeezing your throat so tight you can barely breathe, until you've stared at the ceiling, heart pounding, just trying to convince yourself to get up and face the world that feels like it's already given up on you. No rescue squad, no cheering crowd, no safety net, just silence. That crushing, endless silence that screams, you're alone. But here's the truth. That place, that empty, dark, cold nothing, that's where I found my edge, where I realized the truth no one else wants to admit. When you come from nothing, when you start with zilch, every single thing you build after that is yours. Every win, every breakthrough, every scrap of progress is earned, forged in the fire of your own blood, sweat, and broken dreams. It's not a gift handed to you on a silver platter. No free rides, no shortcuts. It's a trophy carved out of your own scars, your own relentless fight, your own refusal to quit. When you own nothing but your will to rise, every inch you claw forward becomes a declaration, a proof, a middle finger to every voice that told you you'd never make it. You become the master of your own fate, the ruler of your own destiny, the architect of your own empire, and that feels like the fiercest power there is. See, I didn't have a safety net, no soft landing waiting for me when I fell, no comforting voice telling me, you're gonna be okay. All I had was pressure, relentless, suffocating pressure pressing down on me from every side. I didn't have peace either. Nope, just noise. Constant noise, the kind that drowns out your thoughts, your hopes, your dreams. At first, I tried to silence it, tried to shove it down and pretend it wasn't there, but that only made it louder. So I stopped fighting it. Instead, I learned to use it. Took every hurt, every second of doubt and flipped it. Turned pain into power, doubt into fuel, Being overlooked, that became my obsession or my motivation. Because yeah, they laughed. They whispered behind my back. They wrote me off like I was some joke no one needed to take seriously. And it hurt. It burned like acid in my chest. But over time, that doubt didn't break me. It built me. That silence, it wasn't emptiness anymore. It was my training ground, the place where I sharpened my mind, my spirit, my grit, until I was ready to hit back harder than anyone ever imagined. The very thing meant to bury me became my foundation, my launch pad, my weapon. Every win, every breakthrough, every scrap of progress is earned, forged in the fire of your own blood, sweat, and broken dreams. It's not a gift handed to you on a silver platter. No free rides, no shortcuts. It's a trophy carved out of your own scars, your own relentless fight, your own refusal to quit. When you own nothing but your will to rise, every inch you claw forward becomes a declaration, a proof, a middle finger to every voice that told you you'd never make it. You become the master of your own fate, the ruler of your own destiny, the architect of your own empire, and that feels like the fiercest power there is. See, I didn't have a safety net, no soft landing waiting for me when I fell, no comforting voice telling me, you're gonna be okay. All I had was pressure, relentless, suffocating pressure pressing down on me from every side. I didn't have peace either. Nope, just noise. Constant noise, the kind that drowns out your thoughts, your hopes, your dreams. At first, I tried to silence it, tried to shove it down and pretend it wasn't there, but that only made it louder. So I stopped fighting it. Instead, I learned to use it. Took every hurt, every second of doubt and flipped it. Turned pain into power, doubt into fuel. Being overlooked, that became my obsession or my motivation. Because yeah, they laughed. They whispered behind my back. They wrote me off like I was some joke no one needed to take seriously. And it hurt. It burned like acid in my chest. But over time, that doubt didn't break me. It built me. That silence, it wasn't emptiness anymore. It was my training ground, the place where I sharpened my mind, my spirit, my grit, until I was ready to hit back harder than anyone ever imagined. The very thing meant to bury me became my foundation, my launch pad, my weapon. The times I hit the ground flat on my face and then stood up again and again and again, not because it was easy or because I wanted to, but because I had no other choice, no backup plan, no safety net, no crowd chanting my name, just me, my will, and a tiny voice buried deep inside my chest, whispering through the pain, keep going, keep fighting, keep breathing. That voice, that's the real champion. That's what nobody sees, but that's what fuels everything you're about to become. So yeah, call it delusion if it makes you sleep at night. Call it crazy. Call it whatever word you want to throw my way to make yourself feel safe. But me, I call it necessary. Because there's a kind of fire that only the broken know. A fire that burns hotter when your hands are bloody from climbing a mountain no one told you existed. When your jaw's cracked from gritting your teeth through every insult, every no, every sideways glance that says, you don't belong. When you walk into rooms where your name is nothing but a ghost, unseen, unheard, and somehow you still show up. That's a different kind of power. The The kind that can't be bought, begged, or borrowed. It's forged in silence. The kind of silence that doesn't comfort you, it challenges you. It pushes you to become a problem no one can ignore. That loneliness, that crushing, soul-deep loneliness, it doesn't break you. Nah, it teaches you how to lead yourself. How to trust your own voice when the world is busy shouting you down. How to be your own damn hero when everyone else has already turned their backs. It's messy, it's raw, it's brutal. But that fire, that silence, that loneliness, it's what turns ordinary into unstoppable. I did it. Not all at once, not like some instant miracle, but one push at a time, one fight at a time, one silent scream that no one heard but me. I kept moving forward when my legs wanted to give up, when my heart was pounding like it might burst out of my chest, when every ounce of me begged for rest. I didn't stop, and when they thought I was done, when they looked me dead in the eye and said, "He's broken now. That's the end of him." Nah. That was the moment I turned the volume up. You know what really changed me? It wasn't success. It wasn't the pats on the back or the fleeting moments of validation. Nah, those things come and go like shadows. What transformed me, what shook me down to my core, was failure. Real failure. The kind that hits you so hard it feels like it rewrites your DNA. The kind that slams the door on your past self and forces you to choose. Do you stay here, rotting in that pit of despair, or do you stand up and tear the whole damn system down to build something new? I chose the second option. Every single time. Failure didn't break me. It woke me up, tore apart the weak layers I used to hide behind, and molded me into something sharper, something tougher, something they never saw coming. Failure made me a fighter. It forced me to go beyond their expectations, beyond my own limits. It showed me that the road to greatness isn't paved with gold, but with scars. Scars you wear like badges of honor. And from that pain, from that struggle, I built the unshakable foundation that carries me today. Because failure was never the end. It was the brutal beginning of everything I was meant to become. I made it out not because I was handed tools or a clear path, but because I refused to die where they left me, abandoned and forgotten. I didn't rise to impress anyone. I didn't climb for fame or applause. I rose because there was no other option. You're either broken by the world, or you build something stronger from the cracks. I chose to build, piece by piece, scratch by scratch, until that nothing turned into something that commands attention, something that speaks louder than their doubt, something unstoppable. And don't get it twisted, I felt the pain, every single jagged edge of it, the kind of pain that doesn't just bruise your body but carves into your soul. I didn't run from it. Now I sat with it. I let it cut deep, like a knife twisting in places I didn't know could hurt. I let it bury me beneath waves of doubt and heartbreak, drowning in the silence of my own struggle. I screamed into that void loud enough for the world to hear, but the world stayed quiet. When the screaming stopped and the silence grew thick, I didn't collapse. I gathered the broken pieces of myself, sharp and jagged as they were. Pain made me who I am. Silence became my teacher, showing me strength in stillness. Isolation trained me, forging discipline in the absence of support. Because when no one checks on you, when no one asks if you're still standing or breathing, you learn to check your own damn pulse. You learn to listen to the noise inside you, that raw, restless roar, and trust it more than anyone else's words. You learn how to believe in yourself so fiercely that it rattles the people around you. It makes them uncomfortable because they can't fake that kind of conviction. That kind of power comes from a place only broken warriors understand. This ain't motivation, nah. This is a damn confession, real talk. There were nights I wanted to vanish completely, disappear like I was never here. Days when the weight of everything crushed me so hard that I begged the universe for one thing: don't let tomorrow come. Mornings when I prayed for the sun to stay hidden because facing another day felt impossible. I walked through the world like a ghost, pretending I was alive, moving my lips to fake a smile, acting like I was breathing when really I was just barely holding on. But here's the thing, I never stopped. Start working, start hurting. Real growth doesn't happen in comfort zones or Instagram quotes. It happens when you're raw, when you're broken, when the world looks at you and laughs, and you laugh back louder. The real rise, it's not some neat, pretty, polished success story. Nah, it's savage, brutal, chaotic, messy as hell. It's all the ugly, the scars, the sweat, the pain, bundled together and thrown on the table like a challenge. And if you can stare that chaos in the eye, smile, and keep pushing, congratulations, you're on the right track. Because the climb, it ain't for the faint-hearted. But here's the real truth. That climb, it's yours. Every damn step, every scrape, every scar belongs to you. And that's what makes it legendary. Because when you build yourself from the ashes, from the rubble that was supposed to bury you, no one, I mean no one can take that away. They didn't hand you the blueprint or a single brick. Nah, you made it yourself. Brick by broken brick, sweat mixed with tears, pain mixed with sheer stubbornness. And when they laughed, when they looked at you like you were a joke, you built. When they ghosted, when they disappeared because they didn't want to see you win, you built anyway. When they doubted your every move, your every breath, you showed up anyway. Not because they gave you permission, not because they made space for you, but because they couldn't stop you. You became a force, an undeniable presence that shifts the room, breaks the mold, shatters expectations. You weren't waiting for their approval. You were busy becoming the thing they never saw coming. And that's power. Raw, fierce, unbreakable power. That's exactly what I did. I climbed from the bottom, from the shadows, from the silence, and I'm not stopping. Because once you rise from nothing, once you claw your way out of the dark, you owe nobody your silence anymore. Forget shrinking down to fit their comfort zones. Forget whispering just to avoid trouble. Forget apologizing for being loud, raw, and unapologetically real. Nah, you stand tall. You speak with a voice that can't be ignored. You take up space like you own it. Because you do. And if that makes people uncomfortable, good. Let them squirm in their seats. Let them stare wide-eyed as you break every rule they set for you. Because the one they wrote off, the one they counted out, the one they thought was done, That's the one who just came back. Not soft, not small, but with a vengeance. Louder, colder, smarter, stronger. A force they never expected, a storm they can't control. That's the power of rising from nothing. It's not just survival, it's domination. And this is only the beginning. This isn't the end of my story. Nah, it's just the damn beginning of my dominance. I'm not here looking for comfort or easy applause. I'm here to make noise, to shake the foundations of everything that tried to hold me down, to crack the walls built to contain me and smash through every limit they set. I'm not coming for your approval or your validation. I'm coming for impact. The kind of impact that echoes long after the smoke clears. And if it all burns down tomorrow, if everything I built, every step I took goes up in flames, cool, I'll rebuild. Not slower, not softer, but faster, sharper, wiser, meaner. Because the fire doesn't scare me anymore. No, I am the fire, the blaze that consumes doubts, fears, and limits. The heat that forges legends. I am the storm that rises from ashes, the force that no one can cage or control. This is my time, my fight, my legacy in the making. And nothing, not even destruction, can stop me. You can't stop what was born in the rubble. You can't kill what learned to breathe in darkness. You can't mute someone who screamed alone for years and never gave up. I didn't just rise, I vaulted. I became a different beast, a weapon, a storm. And now, I'm just getting started. So when they ask, how did you do it? I won't explain. I'll just smile. I'll keep building. I'll keep winning. I'll keep making silence look like strategy and failure look like art. 'Cause I'm not interested in being remembered for playing it safe. I'm here to shake the room, to set the standard, to make sure my story reads like a damn revolution. Because if everything breaks tomorrow, guess what? I'll do it again. New, I won't break. I'll rebuild with blood on my knuckles and fire in my breath. Because that's what I do. I rise from nothing over and over and over again. Let the world keep talking. Let the noise get loud. I'll be busy moving. I'll be busy rising. I'll be too focused on legacy to care about their limits. And that's the truth most won't accept. Once you realize your worth, you stop asking. You stop knocking. You start carving your name into history with your own damn hands. So if you ever doubt yourself, remember this. I came from nothing, and I made it undeniable. So can you. But only if you're willing to burn. Only if you're willing to get back up. Only if you're willing to do it again and again. So now, when I look back, I don't feel regret. I feel pride. Because every scar, every breakdown, every empty night, it was worth it. Because it built me, molded me, unleashed me. And I'm not going anywhere. Because no matter what happens next, I'll do it again and again